Hello, how are we today? That reminds me, I need to remove a couple of things. Fingers crossed I can reasonably get through today. Oh, it's not working. Why isn't that working? Test 1, 2. How very disappointing. It was working a moment ago. Settings. What about this one? No. Test 1, 2. It's not going to do it. One moment, please. Hello, Spin. How are you? I had this working earlier. How do I make it work now? USB audio device. This is counted a USB audio device. Very unusual. Pop these two up here. I'm only going to quickly try and fix this. If it doesn't work, I'll save it for another day. I do hope it works though. Right, there's that done. Right, so it's simply two devices that don't want to share the microphone. And I thought I might as well pull them out. You see the bar in the bottom right? That's effectively just going to be trying to turn my speech into text. So hopefully people with any type of hearing impairment will be able to enjoy it as well. Although it's cutting off slightly, isn't it? Drat. Captions. Where? Oh, it just... How's that? But yes, that's only really going to be here for the poetry ones and the model ones, hence both of these being here today. Anyway, without further ado, because I feel like I've wasted a huge amount of time anyway. Yes, it does struggle to actually get things correct. It's considerably better than the other one, though. I do apologize, I keep muting. I've been cleaning my room, so there's a huge amount of dust in the air, and it keeps forcing me to clear my nose. Oh right, I don't want to just mute that, do I? My apologies. I'm not sure what's up with me, I'm just all over the place today. There we are. And it's not giving it space. Come on. You said you'd give it... Yeah. Right, that must have been more than... Very odd. Oh well. I'll get these things working later on. Set those over here. Ah, books. I can't help it. Now, where on earth was I? How does it turn drat into cycling scanted trap? Yes, I don't know. It turned it into right that time. Drat. Draught, close. Ah, yes, this one is one I do need to read in time. I believe it's about the Cold War. 1918. No, First World. Yeah. That was a Christmas present one year. In Mother Russia, you don't catch cold. You're not wrong at all. Oh, Russian, who have very bad cold. Sneeze 4 times. Go for it. That was go for it, not girlfriend. I like that, that's good. I like cash as well. But I was saying I like that. How often will I have to correct the voice to text bot? We will proceed with a woman's last word. Let's contend no more, love, strive nor weep, all be as before, love, only sleep. What so wild as words are, I and thou in debate, as birds are, hawk on bow, hawk on bow, close enough. See the creature stalking while we speak, hush and hide the talking, cheek on cheek. What so false as true is, false to thee, where the serpent's tooth is, shun the thee. Where the apple reddens, never pry, lest we lose our Edens, Eve and I. Be a god and hold me with a charm. Be a man and fold me with thine arm. Teach me, only teach, love, as I ought. I will speak thy speech, love, think thy thought. Meet if thou require it, both demands, lying flesh and spirit in thy hands. That shall be tomorrow, not tonight. I must bury sorrow out of sight. Must a little weep, love, foolish me, and so fall asleep, love, loved by thee. I mean, I'll take a girlfriend over, go for it. Yes. You're enjoying these as much as I am, I hope. Yeah, right, that made a logical sentence. It is telling me that I am speaking too quietly, even as I speak now, which is very odd. It might be picking up from... One moment, I need to check something. I'll mute for this test, don't worry. Alright, I know which microphone it's on. Technical tests here. Nothing but the best. Evelyn Hope. Oh, also, Spin, if you do want to include that, these are by R.Browning, whom I'm fairly sure is, yes, Robert Browning, from many, many years back. I mean, as you heard in that one, the woman was expected to not only serve, but to devote herself to her partner. Evelyn Hope. Gets Evelyn right, that's very nice. Beautiful Evelyn, hope is dead. Sit and watch by her side an hour. That is her bookshelf, this her bed. She plucked that piece of geranium flower, beginning to die too in the glass. Little has yet been changed. I think the shutters are shut, no light may pass, save two long rays throw the hinges chink. 16 years old when she died, perhaps she had secretly heard my name. It was not her time to love. Beside her life had many a hope and aim, duties enough and little cares, and now was quiet, now astir, till God's hand beckoned unwares, and the sweet white brow is all of her. Many thanks for the follow, cover. It's too late then, Evelyn Hope. What, your soul was the pure and true, the good stars met in your horoscope, made you of spirit, fire and dew, and just because I was thrice as old, and our paths in the world diverged so wide, each was naught to each, must I be told. We were fellow mortals, naught beside. No, indeed, for God above, is great, too great, as mighty to make and create the love to reward the love. I claim you still, for my own love's sake. Delayed it may be for more lives yet. Through worlds I shall traverse, not a few. Much is to learn and much to forget, ere the time be come for taking you. But the time will come, at least it will, when Evelyn Hope, what meant, I shall say, in the lower earth, in the years long still, that body and soul so pure and gay. Why your hair was amber, I shall divine, and your mouth of your own garners red, and what you would do with me in fine. In the now life come in the old one's stead. I have lived, I shall say so much since then, given up myself so many times, gained me the gains of various men, ransacked the ages, spoiled the claims. Yet one thing, one, in my soul's full scope, either I missed, or itself missed me. And I went and found you, Evelyn Hope. What is the issue? Let us see. I loved you, Evelyn, all the while. My heart seemed full as it could hold. There was place to spare for the frank young smile, and the red young mouth, and the hair's young gold. So, hush, I will give you this leaf to keep. See, I shut it inside the sweet cold hands. There. That is our secret. Go to sleep. You will wake and remember and understand. Okay. What a good person did 50 cal write this poetry? No, we're not into the war stuff yet. I highly doubt that this author will write anything about any war. He predates the majority of them. These are roughly 1830 to 1860. I believe. Hello, my dear guitar. How are you doing today? Is there a way to move the bot text up? The bottom row keeps cutting half off. I shall move it. Is it a adequate size? I want to make sure that it's still legible. But I shall move it up just a touch. And by move it up, I just mean change where it's cropped. Yeah. A second. Collapse all of that. Collapse all of that. I can see it. Ah, wonderful, thank you. Yes, that looks better, thank you. Yeah, that actually looks like it should be reasonable. It all looks legible on my screen, at least. I'm very glad you're doing well. It does always bring me joy. And I hope you all know that I care about each and every one of you, as best I can. If any of you need advice in any respect, you are more than welcome to come and ask. For now, though, we shall continue. That was Evelyn Hope. And now we shall go for Love Among the Ruins. Hello, lady, how are you? I mean, yeah, basically. We're reading poetry from the 1800s at the moment. I like that, though, that was good. Where the quiet coloured end of evening smiles, miles and miles, on the solitary pastures where our sheep, half asleep, tinkle homeward through the twilight, stay or stop as they crop. was the site once of a city great and gay, so they say, of the country's very capital. Its prince, ages since, held his court in gathered councils, wielding far peace or war wielding. Now, the country does not even boast a tree, as you see, two distinguished slopes of a verdure, certain rails from the hills intersect and give a name to, else they run into, where the domed and darling place shot its spears up like fires, o'er the hundred gated circuit of a wall, bounding all, made of marble men might march on, nor be priest, 12 abreast, and such plenty of perfection see, of grass never was such a carpet as the summer time o'erspeared and emboards every vestige, I'll get it right, of the city guest alone, stock or stone. When a multitude of men breathed joy and woe long ago, lust of glory pricked their hearts up, dread of shame struck them tame, and that glory and that shame alike the gold bought and sold. Now the single little turret that remains on the plains, by the caper overrooted, by the ground overscored, while the patching house leaks head of blossom winks through the chinks, marks the basement whence a tower in ancient times sprang sublime, and a burning ring all round a chariots traced as they raced. And the monarch and his minions, his dames, viewed the games. And I know, while thus and quite coloured Eve smiles to leave, to their folding all our many thinking fleece in such peace, and the slopes and riles in undistinguished grey melt away, that a girl with eager eyes and yellow hair waits me there, in a turret whence the charioteers caught soul for the goal, when the king looked where she looks now, breathless, dumb, till I come. But he looked upon the city every side, far and wide, all the mountains topped with temples, all the glades, colonnades, all the casiers, bridges, aqueducts, and then all the men. When I do come, she will speak not, she will stand, either hand on my shoulder, give her eyes the first embrace of my face. Ere we rush, ere we extinguish sight and speech, each on each. In 1 year they sent 1,000,000 fighters forth, south and north, and they built their gods a brazen pillar high as the sky, yet reserved 1,000 chariots in full force, gold of course. O heart, O blood that freezes, blood that burns, earth returns. For whole centuries of folly, noise, and sin shut them in, with the trumpets and their days, and the rest love is best. Through the twilight and stay the stops as they cut. Yes, the bot will frequently muck up. I might add a channel redemption for corrections or misinterpretations, because I reckon that'll be quite fun. Text what got them rhymes. Spinny, I reckon you are going to have terrible good fun with this thing. But first I shall consume some tea, and I recommend you all drink something as well. Oh, the pacing on that one was rather iffy at times. I do apologise. Now to progress to a lover's quarrel. Oh, what a dawn of day! How the March sun feels like May. All is blue again after last night's rain, and the south dries the harpthorn spray. Only my love's away. I does life that blue with grey, runnels which rillets swell, must be dancing down the dell, with a phony head on the barley bed, paven smooth as the hermit's cell, each with a each with a tale to tell. Could my love but attend as well, dearest 3 months ago, when we lived blocked up with snow, when the wind would edge in and his wedge in as far as the point could go, not to our ingle though, where we lived each the other so, laughs with so little cause. We devised games out of straws. We would try and trace one another's face in the ash, as an artist draws, free on each other's flaws. How we chattered like two church doors. What's in the Times? A scold at the Emperor deep and cold. He has taken a bride to his gruesome side that's as far as himself is hold. There they sit, installed, and powders her hair with gold. Fancy the pamps' sheen, miles and miles of gold and green, where the sunflower blow in a solid glow. And to break now, then the screen, black neck and eyeballs keen, up a wild horse leaps between. Try with our table turn, lay your hands there light, and yearn, till the yearning slips through the fingertips in a fire which a few discern, and a very few feel burn, and the rest they may live and learn. Then we would up and pace for a chance about the place, each with arm or neck. 'Tis our quartered deck. We are seamen in a woeful case, help on the ocean space, or if no help, we'll embrace. See how she looks now, dressed in the sledge cap and vest. 'Tis a huge fur cloak, like the reindeer's yoke. Fools that lap it along the breast, sleeves for her arms to rest, or to hang, as my love likes best. Teach me to flirt as fan as the Spanish ladies can, or I tint your lip with the burnt stick's tip, and you turn into such a man. Just the two spots that span half the bill of the younger male swan. Dearest, 3 months ago, when the memorizer snow with his hand first sweep put the earth to sleep, 'twas a time when the heart could show all how the earth to know. 'Neath the mute hands to and fro, dearest, 3 months ago, when we loved each other so, lived and loved the same till an evening came, when the shaft of the devil's bow pierced to our ingle glow, and the friends were friend and foe. Not from the heart beneath 'twas a bubble born of breath, neither sneer nor vaunt, nor reproach nor taunt. See a word, how it severeth! O powder of life and death in the tongue, as the preacher saith. Woman, and will you cast for a word quit off at last, me your own, your you, since as truth is true, I was you, all the happy past, me do you leave aghast with the memories we amassed. Love, if you knew the light that your soul casts in my sight, how I look at you, for the pure and true, and the beauteous and the right, bear with the moment's spite, when a mere mote threats the white. What of a hasty word? Is the flashy heart not stirred by a worm's pinprick, where its roots are quick? See the eye, by a fly's foot blurred, ear, when a straw is heard, scratch the brain's cast of curd. Foul be the word of fair, more or less. How can I care? 'Tis the word the same for my praise or blame, and endurance is easy there, wrong in the one thing rare. Oh, it is hard to bear. Here's the spring back so close when almost blossom blows. In that mirror third, there is none but the cuckoo nose heaps up when the galloper roars. I must bear with it, I suppose. Could but November come, where the noisy bird struck dumb at the warning slash of the driver's lash, I would laugh like the violent thumb facing the castle glum, and the giant's fee for fum. Then, where the world will stripped of all gear-wearing equipment, we can stand apart, disappeared with heart in the sun, with the flowers unpinned. Oh, the world's hanging ripe. We were both in bare-walled crypt. Each in the crypt would cry, but one freezes here, and why? When a heart as chill at my own would thrill back to life, and its fires outfly. Hard shall we live or die, the rest settle it by and by. So she'd offence the score, and forgive me as before. It is 12 o'clock, I shall hear her knock. In the worst of storms uproar, I shall pull her through the door. I shall have her forevermore. Oh, my leg's going to sleep. I was sat on it that whole time. You're having fun with this spot, aren't you? Yes, this spot, not the bot. There we are. Alright, the ones you're getting I do quite like. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. It did take me a moment to get into the pace of that one, it just couldn't feel right. I mean, this is all of the Robert Browning I've read. All of these pages, that's it. I'm still not accustomed to his style yet. And so far it's gone through a few, and I have pins and needles in my leg. It's killing me. Keep your European Simpson. Oh. Lovely. I think I was too far away for it to catch that time. It's got all tingly. Up at a villa down in the city. One moment, please. Ah, terribly sorry. I love the way it just sits there for a moment, trying to imagine what you just said. And then it goes through 2 or 3 words, trying to get the right one. Anyway, yes, as I said, up at the villa down in the city, as designed by the Italians. Person of quality. Terribly sorry for the noise there. Had I but plenty of money, money enough had to spare. The house for me, no doubt, were a house in the city square. Ah, such a life as one leads at the window there. Something to see, by Becas, something to hear at least. There the whole day long, one life is a perfect feast, while up at the villa one life I maintain it no more than I a beast. terribly sorry. That's actually pretty good to sit up for a reading stream, having a I've mainly got that for anyone that's either hearing impaired or hard of hearing, possibly even deaf. Not death, deaf. It's trying. Death is death. Death is death indeed. But I mean, blind, mute, and deaf. It still assumes, dead. Assumes Simon dead. Who's Simon? There you go, we can never play Simon's Dead ever again. Simon's dead. Where was I? From the city. No, wait, hold on. Yes, okay. Well, now, look at our villa, stuck like the horn of a bull, just on a mountain's edge, as bare as the creature's skull, save mere shag of a bush where hardly a leaf to pull. I stretch my own sometimes, well, scratch my own, sorry, some things, sometimes, to see in the hairs turned wool. But the city, oh, the city, the square, with the house, why, they are stone-faced, white as curd. There's something to this eye. House in 4 straight lines, not a single front array. You watch who crosses and gossips, who stunts, who hurries by. Green blinds as a matter of course, to draw when the sun gets high, and the shops with finical, fanciful. That's a horrid word and I hate it. Signs are painted properly. Fanciful. Fanciful! It's fanciful. I got there. Dyslexia is a horrid thing. Fanciful signs are painted properly. What of a villa? Though winter be over in March by rights, 'tis May, perhaps, ere the snow shall have withered well off the heights. You've the brown ploughed land before, where the oxen steam and wheeze, and the hills smoked behind by faint grey olive trees. Is it better in May, I ask you? You've summer all at once. In a day he leaps complete with a few strong April suns, mid the sharp, short, emerald wheat. Scarce resin through fingers well, the wild tulip at end of its tube blows out its great red bell, like a thin clear bubble of blood for the children to pick and sell. No, I just want one page. Is it even hot in the square? There's a fountain to spout and splash. In the shade it sings and springs. In the shine such foam bows flash. On the horses with curling fish tails that prance and paddle and pash, round the lady it stop in the coach 50 gazers do not abash. Though all the wares in some weeds round her waist in sort of mash. In a sort of smash, my apologies. Like watches. All the year long at the villa nothing's to see, though you'll linger, except you, Cyprus. Yeah, except you, Cyprus, that point, like death's lean lifted forefinger. Something fireflies pretty when they mix in the corn and mingle. Or third the stinking hemp till the stalks of it seem a tingle. Late August or early September, the stunning circulars shrill, and the bees keep their tiresome wine round the resinous fairs of the hill. Enough of the seasons, I spare you the months of the fever and chill. Ere opening your eyes in the city, the blessed church bells begin. No sooner the bells leave off than the diligence rattles in. You get the pick of the news, and it costs you never a pin. By and by, there's travelling doctor gives pills, lets blood, draws teeth, or the Palicolo trumpet breaks up the market beneath. At the post office, such a scene picture the new play, piping hot, and notice how, only this morning, 3 liberal thieves were shot. Above it, behind the Archbishop, most faithful of roebucks, and beneath, with the crown and his lion, some little new low of the Duke's, or a sonnet with flowers merged to the Reverend Don so-and-so, whose Dante, Bisecchio, Petrarca, Saint Jerome, and Secria. And moreover, the sonnet goes rhyming. The skirts of Saint Paul has reached, having preached to us these 6 Lent lectures, more utterance than ever he preached. Noon strikes, there sweeps the procession of lady-borns, smiling and smart, with a pink gauze gown, all spangles, and 7 swords stuck in her heart. Bang, wham, whang, goes the drum. Toodle-tee, toodle, the fi-fi. No keeping one's haunches still. It's the greatest pleasure in life. But bless you, it's dear. Foul wine at double the rate. They have clapped the new tax upon salt, and what oil pays passion the gate. It's a horror to think of. And so the villa for me, not the city. Beggars can scarcely be choosers, but still, the pity. Look, 2 and 2 go, the priests then, the monks, with cowls and sandals, and the penitents dressed in white. Penitents dressed in white, very odd. Shirts are holding yellow candles. One he carries a flag up straight, and another a cross with handles, and the Duke's guard bring up the rear for the better prevention of scandals. Bang, whang, whang goes the drum. Toodle-te-toodle, the fi-fi. Oh, a day in the city square. There's no such pleasure in life. What on earth is a fi-fi? Also, for spelling's sake, it is F-I-F-I, not FIFA. Excuse me, I actually have to check this now, I'm curious. Go. I've lost I. No, come on. The fi-fi. No. Oh, it's basically an old flute. I mean, I could assume that from the context, but... Huh. One moment, I will read this. So we all learn, because I reckon that's a good idea. A fi-fi, pronounced farf, is a small high-pitched transverse aerophone that is similar to the piccolo. The farf originated in medieval Europe and is often used in fife and drum corps, military units, and marching bands. Someone who plays the fife is called a fifer. Sorry, farf. So it would be a farfer. The word farf comes from the German pfeife, meaning pipe, which comes from the Latin word piper, which is P-I-P-A-R-E, possibly via French F-I-F-R-E. Good Lord, that's confusing. But I learned what pipe is in Latin. One moment. I apologize for all the pauses and the muting. I genuinely do. My nose is not cooperating with me today. A touquet of Gallipes. Oh, Gallipoli, Baldassaro, this is very sad to find. I can hardly misconceive you. It would prove me deaf and blind, but although I take your meaning, 'tis with such a heavy mind. Here you come with your old music, and here's all the good it brings. What they lived once thus at Venice, where the merchants were the kings, where St. Mark's is, where the dogs used to ward the sea with rings. Wed. No, wed. W-E-D. I think this bot is obsessed with death. Very bizarre. Because the sea's the street there, and 'tis arched by, what do you call, Shylock's Bridge with houses on it, where they kept the carnival, sorry. I was never out of England. It's as if I saw it all. Did young people take their pleasure when the sea was warm in May? Balls and masks began at midnight, burning ever to midday. When they made up fresh adventures for for the morrow, do you say? Was a lady such a lady, cheeks so round and lips so red? Oh, her neck, the smell, face, bayonet, like a bellflower on its bed. Oh, the breasts superb, abundance where a man might base his head. Well, and it was graceful of them. They'd break talk off and afford. She to bite her mask's black velvet, he to finger on his sword, while you sat and played torquettes, stately at the clevarchard. What? Those lose thirds so plaintively, sixths demolished. Sigh on sigh told them something. Those suspensions, those solutions, must we die? Those commiserating sevenths, life might last. We can but try. Were you happy? Yes. And are you still happy? Yes. And you? Then more kisses. Did I stop them? When 1,000,000 seemed so few? Hark! The demonstration's persistence, till it must be answered. So an octave struck the answer. Oh, they praised you, I dare say. Brave Galuppi! That was music. Good alike at grave and gay. I can always leave off talking when I hear a master play. Then they left you for the pleasure, till in due time, one by one, some with lives that come to nothing, some with deeds as well undone. Death came tactly and took them where they never see the sun. But when I sit down to reason, think to take my stand, nor swerve, while I triumph over the secret wrong from nature's close reserve. In you come, with your cold music, till I creep through every nerve. Yes, you, like a ghostly cricket creaking where a house was burned, dust and ash, dead and done, with Venice spent what Venice earned. The soul, doubtless, is immortal, where a soul can be discerned. Yours, for instance, you know physics, something of geology. Mathematics are your pastimes. Souls shall rise in their degree. Butterflies may dread extinction. You'll not die. It cannot be. As for Venice and its people, merely born to bloom and drop, here on earth, they bore their fruitage. Mirth and folly were the crop. What of soul was left, I wonder, when the kissing had to stop? Dust and ash, so you creak it, and I want the heart to scald dear dead women with such hair. To what's become of all the gold used to hang and brush their bosoms? I feel chilly and grown old. So apparently, if you are not learned and studied, you apparently don't have a soul. Good lord. I'm not terribly sold on that one. Old pictures in Florence. The morn when first it thunders in March. The eel in the pound gives a leap, they say, as I leaned and looked over the allowed arch of the villa gate. This warm March day, no flash snapped, no dumb thunder rolled in the valley beneath where, white and wide, and washed by the morning water's gold, Florence lay out on the mountain side. River and bridge and street and square lay mine, as much at my back and cool. Through the live translucent bath of air, as the signs of the magic crystal ball, and of all I saw, and of all I praised, the most praise and the best to see, excuse me, terribly sorry, was the sterling bell tower Giotto raised. But why did it more than startle me? Giotto, how? With that soul of yours could you play me false, who loved you so? So it's not just redheads that lack souls? Apparently not, no. Apparently we all do unless we are highly intellectual. If you're just there for a good time, then yeah, nothing. Especially if you go to a ball or a masquerade. Some sights in certain heart endure, yet it feels. I would have you fellows know, I perceive not why I should care to break a silence that suits them best. But the thing grows somewhat hard to bear when I find Giotto join the rest. On the arch where olives overheard print the blue sky with twig and leaf, that sharp-curled leaf which they never shed. Twixt the aloes I used to lean in chief, and mark through the winter afternoons. By a gift God grants me now and then in the mid-decline of those suns like moons, who walked in Florence beside her men. They might chirp and chaffer, come and go, for pleasure or profit. Her man alive, my business was hardly with them, I trow. But with empty cells of the human hive, with the with the chapter room, the cloister porch, the church's apses, aisles, or nave, its crypt, one fingers along with a torch, its face set full for the sun to shave. Wherever a Fresno peels the drops, wherever an outline weakens and wanes, till the latest life in the painting stops, stands one whom each farther pulsating pains, one wished each scrap should clutch the brick, each tingle not wholly escape the plaster, a lion who dies of an ass's kick, the wronged great soul of an ancient master. For oh, this world and the wrong it does, they are safe in heaven with their backs to it. The Mitchells and the Raphaels, you hum and buzz round the works of you of the little wit. Do their eyes contract to the earth's old scope, now that they see God face to face, and have all attained to poets, I hope? 'Tis their holiday now, in any case. Much they reck of your praise and you, but the wronged great soul, can they be quiet? Of the world where they work is all to do. Their work is all to do. Where you style them, you of the little wit, old master this and early the other, not dreaming that old and new are fellows, a younger succeedo to an elder brother. Da Vinci deliver in good time from Delos. It's a common phrase days ago. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. I'd like to have a good long time, to be fair. I'd like that very much. And I don't think I'm alone. I wonder, with my pastimes, I wonder if they think I would have a soul. I entirely lost where I was, by the way. My body's not very happy at all. Praise the yield returns. Yes. And here where you praise might yield returns, and a handsome word or two give help. Here, after your kind, the masterful grins and the puppy pack of poodles yelp. What, not a word for the saffron there? Of brow once prominent and starry, called Neptune's ape, and world's despair, for his perilous painting see Versari. Terribly sorry. 3 stand the master, study, my friends. What's a man's work come to? So he plans it, performs it, perfects it, makes amends for all the toiling and moiling, and then, sick transit. Happier and thriftier blind folk labour with upturned eye while the hand is busy, not sliding a glance at the coin of their neighbour. 'Tis looking downward that makes one dizzy. If you knew their work, you would deal your dole. May I take upon me to instruct you, when Greek art ran and reached the goal, thus much had the world to boast in Frontu. The truth of man has by God first spoken, which the actual generations garble was re-uttered, and soul, which lambs betoken, and lambs soul informers, made new in marble. So you saw yourself as you wished you were, as you might have been, as you cannot be. Earth here, reduked by Olympus there, and grow content in your poor degree. With your little power, by those statues God heard, and your little scope, by their eyes full sway, and your little grace, by their grace emboldened, and your little date, by their forms that stay. You would fain be kinglier, say, than I am. Even so, you will not sit like Theseus. You'd fain buy a model, the son of Priam. As yet the advantages of arms and knees use. Your wrath can you slay your snakes like Apollo, your graved still knobs in the grandeur. You live theirs, the racer's phrase to follow. You die theirs, the dying Alexander. So testing your weakness by their strength, you manage charms by their rounded beauty, measured by art in your breadth and breadth. You learned to submit. It's a mortal's duty. I think they debate on it and say perhaps he has half a soul. I am okay with half a soul. I mean, I am teaching myself Latin, so I'm hopefully going to be able to read more of these and older. There is a little bit of Latin in this, but not very much. Just a few words sprinkled. When I say you, 'tis the common soul, the collective I mean. The race of men that receive life in parts to live in a whole, and grow here according to God's clear plan. Growth came when, looking your last on them all, you turned your eyes inwards one fine day, and cried with a start, what if we so small be greater and grander, the while than they? Are they perfect of limelight, perfect of stature? In both of such lower types are we, precisely because of our wide nature. For time, theirs, ours for eternity. To today's brief passion limits their range. It seethes with the morrow for us and more. They are perfect. How else? They shall never change. We are faulty. Why not? We have time in store. The artificer's hand is not arrested. With us, we are rough-hewn, no wise polished. They stand for our copy, and once invested with all they can teach, we shall see them abolished. 'Tis a lifelong toil till our lamp believe and sorry. My apologies. Hello, my dear. My nose is very much not agreeing with me. The better that's why the perfection perishes. Yes. The better that, what's come to perfection perishes. Things learned on earth we shall practice in heaven. Works done less rapidly. Works done less rapidly. Right. Art most cherishes, thyself shall afford the example, Giato. Thy one work not to decrease or diminish. For the love of... Again, I do apologize. There's just something in the air bugging me at the moment. Wipe that away from the eye. And while I take this very short break, do not forget that all of these poetry readings on Sundays are uploaded onto YouTube. I mean, for that, it is called pollen. No. Oh, I see what you mean. My apologies, yes. That does suck. But mine is very much I was moving things around in my room. And it's mostly just dust is everywhere. And my nose is not enjoying it at all. So I actually made it happy and relaxing to your voice. See, I'm immune to it, just sort of chilling around the place. But the minute you move everything around, you hoover, you take your computer outside, blow compressed air through it, all that kind of stuff, something just hits different. Works done less rapidly, art most cherished. Thyself shall afford the example, Giato. Thy one work not to decrease or diminish. Done at a stroke was just, was it not? Oh, thy great companion is still to finish. Is it true that we are now, and shall be hereafter? But what and when depend on life's minute. Hails heavenly cheer or infernal laughter our first step out of the gulf or in it? Shall man such step within his endeavour? Man's face have no more play and action. than joy with the crystallization forever, or grief, or eternal perfection, on which I consider that the early painters, to cries of Greek art, and what more wish you, rapidly to become now self-acquainters, and paint men, whatever the issue, make now hopes shine through the flesh they fray, new fears, again, aggrandize the rags and tatters to bring the invisible full into play. Let the visible go to the dogs, what matters? Give these, I exhort you, their guardian and glory, for daring so much before they well did it. The first of the new in our race's story beats the last of the old. 'Tis no idle quiddity. The worthies beginning a revolution. Which if on earth you intend to acknowledge, why honour them now, ends my elocution, nor confer your degree when the folks leave college. There's a fancy some learn to end others hate, that when this life is ended, begins new work for the soul in other state, where it strives and gets weary, loses and wins, where the strong and the weak, this world's congress, repeat in large what they practiced in small, through life after life, in unlimited series, only the scales to be changed, that's all. Yet I hardly know, when a soul has seen, by the means of evil, that good is best, and through earth and its noise, what is heaven's scenery? When his faith in the same has stood the test, why, the child grown man, you burn the rod. The use of labour are surely done. There reameth a rest for the people of God, and I have had troubles enough for one. But at any rate, I have loved the seasons of our spring birth, so dim and dewy. My sculptor is Niccolo the Pison, and painter, who but can buy? Nor even was man of them all indeed, from these to Giabati and Girlangio, could say that he missed my critique. What? So now to my special grievance. Hi-ho! Their ghosts now stand, as I said before, watching each fresco flaked and rasped, blocked up, knocked out, or whitewashed o'er. No getting again what the church has grasped. The works on the wall must take their chance, works never considered to England's thick clime. condensed. Sorry. I hope they prefer their inheritance of a beautiful of Italian quicklime when they go at length with such a shaking of heads o'er the delusional. Sadly, each master has way through the black streets taking, where many a lost work breaths through badly, though badly breathes. I'm good at this, I swear. No kidding, you can't. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, let me do that. It's fine. Let me get here. We are going to have physical poetry night like the group of weirdos and dogs. That's absolutely fine. Ivan, I will run an ad shortly. I will step away at that time and make myself a new cup of tea. Sad last time. Where was I? Way through the black streets around the story of the past evenings. Snooze Volume 1. Yes, I'd be fine with that at the DLC. But at any rate, I have no, I didn't get there. Yet I hardly know when the result was. Ah, no, I lost my place. I know it's over on this page somewhere. I'm just going to start this page again, I'm sorry. It's up here. Okay. We're learning. Yes. Where many a lost work breathes through, though badly. Yes, I did this bit. Why don't they bethink them of who has merit? Why not reveal while their pictures dree such doom and captives to be out-ferreted? Wise they never remember me. Not that I expect the great Bigordi, nor Sendro to hear me chivlare, bellicose, nor the wronged Lipiano, and not a word I say of a scrape of Fra and Glaucius. I struggle with all of these words, they hurt so very much. Be a quality tea house, blah. All taste looks as quality. Never actually had blah before. It's reasonably pleasant. Unfortunately, it is cold. I'm fairly sure. But are you too fine, Tadio Gadia, to grant me a taste of your intro, Nako, some germo that seeks the heaven with a sad eye, not a churchless saint, Lorenzo Maniaco. I hate these names so much. Could not the ghost with the close red cap, my pillagolo, the twice a craftsman, save me a sample, give me the hap of a musicaler, Christ that shows the draughtsman, no virgin by him, the somewhat petty of final touch and tempera crumbly, could not Alesso Boldeviati contribute so much, I ask him humbly. Margaritos of Arezzo, with the grave clothes, garb, and swaddled barret. Why purse up the mouth and beak in a pet so, you bold old centurion, pole-clawed parrot? Okay, that's where it ends. That's when I'll run the advert and get myself new tea. Not a poor glimmering crucifix, where in the foreground kneels the donor, in such remain as is my convection. Sorry. The hoarding it does you but little honour. They pass, for them the panels may thrill, the temples grow alive and tinglish, the pictures are left to the mercies still of dealers and stealers, Jews and the English, who, seeing mere money's worth in their prize, will sell it to somebody calm as Zeno, at naked high art, and his ecstasis before some clay cold vile Corlano. No matter for these, but Giotto, have you allowed, as the town tongues babble it? Oh, never! It shall not be continued true that a certain precise little tablet with Buonarroti eyed like a lover was buried so long in oblivion's womb, and left for another than I to discover, turns up at last, and to whom, I, that have haunted the dim sand, spirato, or was rather the... Stop with these words! Ognissetti, petitioned, patient, on altar steps, planting a weary toe. Nay, I shall have it yet. Dieterameti, my kahainor, or if that's a platitude, jewel of Yes, I choose all the old stuff. Yes, I'm very well aware of that. These are names, and they are killing me. I'm very bad at reading not only Italian, but also anything along that ilk realistically. It's genuinely difficult. Yeah, I'll go for the tea. I'm getting annoyed with this. I will see you all shortly. Also, hello, how are you? I hope calmer than I. Yes, finishing off my cold tea. I will be back shortly. I will run an advert, I will turn on some music, and we shall continue. I will replace that there for all to see. Hello, and sorry I forgot to turn on any music. I do apologise. It is tea at the end of the day. I'm very much the type of person that can drink tea throughout the day. Though, generally, better when it's hot. I said when it's hot, not yourself, but whichever. Hello, cat. Do you want to hop up and join us? You can move our little models. No tea, no life. I like the concept, but I shall not agree to it. Do you like to hop up, my friend? He's watching chat for me now. I don't think he wants to today. How strange. And I would quite happily bring tea for each and every one of you. I still have gone for tea back soon. Hold on. Wait, I noticed. I did that bit. Jowl of Gimoshide, the primal sulphs. You get. Where are you gonna sit? Come on. The sulphs. No, not on the keyboard. Sorry. There you go. Yes, he's always after my attention, and is currently scrolling down on the sources in Streamlabs. I reckon one of the next modes I have to go with will be a cat. Because he's always trying to get attention. Anyway, as we were before, I've never said his name on stream, though I don't believe there's any harm in it. This one is named Neo, and his brother was Moses. So, in anticipative gratitude, what if I take up my hope and prophecy? When the house grow ripe, and I certain detard, is pitched no parcel that needs invoicing to the worst side of Mount St. Gothard. We shall begin by way of rejoicing. None of the shooting the sky blank cartridges, nor a civic guard, all plumes and lacquer, hunting Reddit's soul in the partridge, over a morale with squabe and cracker. Neo, the second one. Neo as in Morpheus and... and did it say Neo or Leo? Oh, it does say Neo. Wonderful. This time we'll shoot better game and beg 'em hot. No more display at the Stone of Dead, but a kind of sober within Gemot. Excuse guide quad vera center. Sorry, I want to. Shall ponder once freedom restored to Florence. How art many return that departed with her. Go, hated house, go each trace of the Lorraines, and bring us the day of origami hither. Origama, sorry. How we shall pray. Prologarize? Prologies. I don't know that one. Hunting Reddit. So are we talking about right Reddit? Oh, hang on. I am clicking that button, but I am not posting it. Haha. Oh, you're still pressing space, aren't you? Yes, you are. He doesn't like it if I eat his ear. There. We were. Nope. There. How we shall prologize, how we shall perorate, Jesus, utter fit things upon art and history, feel truth at blood heat, and the false at a zero rate, and make of the want of the age no mystery. Contrasting the fractious and sterile airs, show monarchy ever its uncouth cub-licks out of the bear's shape into chimney, while pure art's birth is still the republic's. Yes, the cat was very happily sat with us. Ah, Herregis. No, hold on. Let's go back to that one. Pro, Loguize. It's an odd one. So we are there. So let's mark that quick. You know this is an ASMR stream. We need to hear kitty purr. I mean, yes, that is absolutely fair. At some point he will have to sit here and be happy, and that's all we stream that day. Though he has returned to my bed and wishes to sleep. And a nice little salute to you as well, Kinji. Don't breathe in Earl Grey. That is unpleasant. Right, so this one. Then one shall propose in a speech curt, Tuscan, expertage and sober, with scarcely an isimo, to end now our half-told tale of Cumbuscan, and turn the bell towers all to Alessimo, and fine as the beak of the young Bacchae, the Campania, the Dormos, fit ally shall sear up in gold full 50 broccae, completing Florence as Florence, Italy. Shall I be alive that morning? The scaffold is broken away, and the long-pent fire, like the golden hope of the world, unbaffled, springs from its sleep, and up goes the spring, while God and the people, plain for its motto, thence the new tricolour flaps at the sky, at least to foresee that glory of Giotto and Florence together. He first am I. Afterward take sky, not a bad. Okay. Hang on. So if you replace the K with a C, you have the same word. It's close. Shall I be alive? Ah, that was the last of that one. Good lord, there were a lot of names in that one. I did not enjoy that. Morty. Then again, the majority of the Pokemon are just... I say this and immediately think of Ekans and Muck. And there was Ekans that evolved into... the reverse of Cobra. Arbok, of course, yes. And the fun thing is, this isn't even showing my age. De Gustibus. Your ghost will walk, you lover of trees, if one loves remain, in an English lane, by a cornfield side, a flutter with poppies. Hark! Those two in the hazel coppice. A boy and a girl in the good fates, please. Making love, say, the happier they. Draw yourselves up from the light of the moon, and let them pass, as they will too soon. with the beanflower's boon, and the blackbird's tune, and May and June. What I love best in all the world is a castle. Price Pierce in a gush of the wind grieved Apennine. Or look for me, old fellow of mine, if I get my head from out the mouth or the grave, and lose my spirit's bonds, and come again to the land of lands, in the seaside house to the farther south, where the baked cycles die of drought, and the sharp tree, 'tis a cypress, stands by the many 100 years red-rusted, rough iron spikes, ripe, fruit o'er-crusted, my sentinel to guard the sand to the water's edge for what expands before the house but the great opaque blue brand of the sea without a break. When the house forever crumbles, some fragments of the frescoed walls, from blistered where the scorpion sprawls, a girl barefooted brings and tumbles down the pavement, green flesh melons, and says there's news. Today the king, whose shot had touched in the living wing, goes with the Bourbon, arm in a sling. She hopes they have not caught the felons. Italy, my Italy, Queen Mary's saying serves for me, when Fortune's malice lost her Calais. Upon my heart, and you will see, graved inside of it, Italy. Such lovers old are I and she, so it always was, so shall ever be. Yes, exist, and we do make fun of them. That is one thing I like about the old Pokemon games, and even some of the newer ones. They do seem as though they're timeless. When did that happen? My bookmark's broken. That is upsetting. Oh well. I'll have to make sure that it's correct. Well, at least not going to damage the book before I put it away. In time, if we do enjoy longer poems, or say epics or plays, that kind of thing. Oh, no, absolutely not. If we do enjoy the longer stories and such, I may in time read from this book. It was moved. Hold on one moment, I was going to grab another one. Not that one. Or this one. 1 and 2 say hi, Mr. Dove. Hello, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Take off that S and I will agree with you. But yes, this is the kind of thing that would require a great deal of time. For these are epics, and they are deserving of that title. I mean, H.P. Lovecraft that's down there is less of an epic, it's more of a collective. I didn't swear, it thinks I swore. Interesting. But yes, I would love to read this at some point. If we think that would be good listening for everyone here, that might well be done. Anyway, back to the previously scheduled poetry. That's just the digital version of Lego, and you know it. Hey, look, it actually capitalizes Lego. Of course it capitalizes it, everything's capitalized. Anyway. Home thoughts from abroad. Oh, to be in England, now that April's there, and whoever wakes in England sees, some morning unaware, that the lowest boughs in the brushwood sheaf round the elm tree bole are in tiny leaf, while the chuffing signs in the orchard bow in England now. And after April, when May follows, and the white throat builds all the swallows, hark, where my blossomed pear tree in the hedge leans to the field and scatters on the clover blossoms and dewdrops at the bent spray's edge. That's the wise thrush, he sings each song twice over, lest you should think he never could recapture the first fine careless rapture, and through the fields look rough with hoary dew. All well and gay when noontide wakes anew. The buttercups, the little children's dower, far brighter than this gaudly melon flower. Home thoughts from the sea. Nobly Cap St. Vincent to the northwest died away. Sunset ran, one glorious blood red reeking into Cadiz Bay. Bluish mid the burning water, full in face Trafalgar lay. In the dimmest northeast distance dawned Gibraltar. I can never say that one. Grand and grey. Here and here did England help me. How can I help England? Say whose turns as I this evening turn to God to praise and pray, while Jehovah's plant raises yonder silent over Africa. That reminds me, I just remembered something. Alert. Alert box is now muted because I want them to be muted. Wonderful. This one is Saul. Saul. I appreciate that it actually spaces them out, that's nice. This one is a long one. Said Alba, at least thou art come. Ere I tell, ere thou speak, kiss my cheek, wish me well. Then I wished it, and did kiss his cheek. And he, since the king, O my friend, for thy contentance sent, neither drunken nor eaten have we, nor until from his tent thou returning with the joyful assurance the king liveth yet, shall our lip with the honey be bright, with the water be wet. For out of the black mid-tent silence, a space of 3 days, not a sound hath escaped to thy servants, or prayers, or of praise, to betoken that soul and of the spirit have ended their strife, and that, faint in the triumph, the monarch sinks back upon life. Yet now my heart leaps, O beloved God's child, with his dew on thy gracious gold hair, and those lilies still living, and blue just broken to twain round thy harp. Oh, sorry, thy harp strings, as if no wild heart were now raging to torrents the desert, torture the desert. I can do this. Once more, if I need to explain this to anyone, dyslexia sucks. I didn't swear. It thinks I did. Then I, as was meet, knelt down to the God of my fathers, and rose on my feet, and ran o'er the sand. Don't you hate it when you need to sneeze, but you need to hold off until you mute? Hello, how on earth are you? We are doing well. We're reading poetry from the 1800s. Ox 28. I like that name. I assume that's Ox isn't a proper one. Where were we? And ran o'er the sand, burnt to powder. The tent was unlooped. I pulled up the spear that obstructed, and under I stooped. Hands and knees on the slippery grass patch, all weathered and gone, that extends to the second enclosure, I groped my way on till I felt there a fold skirt fly open. Then once more I pried, and opened the fold skirt, and entered, and was not afraid, but spake, Here is David, thy servant. And no voice replied. At this first I saw naught but the blackness, but soon I descried a something more black than the blackness, the vast, the upright main prop which sustained the pavilion, and slow into sight grew a figure against it, gigantic and blackest of all. Then a sunbeam that burst through the tent roof showed Saul, stood as erect as the tent prop, both arms stretched out wide on the great cross support on the center that goes to each side. He relaxed not a muscle, but hung there as caught in his pangs, and waiting his change, the king serpent all heavenly hangs, far away from his kind in the pine, till deliverance come. With the springtime so agonized, soul dream and start, blind and dumb. Then I turned my harp, took off the lyles, we twine round its chords, lest they snap neath the stress of the noontide, those sunbeams like swords. And I first played the tune all our sheep know, as one after one, so docile they come to the pen door, till folding by done, they are white and untorn by the bushes, for lo, they have fed. Where the long grass strife the water with the stream's bed. And now one after one seeks its lodging, as star follows star into eve, and the blue far above us, so blue and so far. Terribly sorry. Then the tune for which quails on the cornland will each leave his mate to fly after the player, then what makes the crickets elate, till the boldness they fought one another, and then what was wait, to set the quick gerbos a music outside his sandhouse. There are none such as he, for a wonder, half bird and half mouse. God made all the creatures, and gave them our love and our fear, to give sign we and they are his children, one family here. Then I played the help tune of our reapers, their wing song, when hand grasp at hand, eye lights eye in good friendship, and great hearts expand, and grow one in the sense of this world's life. And then the last song, when the dead man is praised on his journey, bear him along, with his few faults shut up like dead flowerets. Our balm seed's not here to console us, the land has none left, such as he on the bear. Oh, would we might keep thee, my brother! And then the glad chant of the marriage. First go the young maidens, next she whom vaunt as the beauty, the pride of our dwelling, and then the great march wherein man runs to man to assist him, and butters an arch naught can break. Butters an arch, my apologies. Who shall harm them, our friends? Then the chorus intoned, as the Levites go up to the altar, in glory enthroned. But I stopped here, For here in the darkness Saul groaned, and I paused, held my breath in such silence, and listened apart. And the tent shook, for mighty Saul shuddered, and Spraggle's gain dark. From the jewels, apologies, that awoke in his turban at once with the start. All the lordly male sapphires and rubies, courages at heart. So the head, but the body still moved not, still hung here erect, and I bent once again to my playing, pursued in an unchecked as I sang. Oh, manhood's prime vigor, no spirit feels waste, not a muscle is stopped in its playing, nor sinew unbraced. Oh, the wild joys of living, the leaping from rock up to rock, the strong rending of boughs from the fir tree, the cool silver shock of the plum in the pool's living water plunge, the hunt of the bear, and the citrines showing the lion in church in his hair. His hair? I am struggling for some reason. And a meal with rich dates yellowed over the gourd dust divine, and the locust's flesh steeped in the pitcher, the full draught of wine, and the sleep in the dried river canal, where the bulrushes tell that the water was wont to go warbling so softly and well. How good is man's life, the mere living, how fit to employ all the heart and the soul of the sense for every enjoy. Hast thou loved the white locks of thy father, whose word thou didst guard, when he trust thee forthwith the armies for glorious reward? Didst thou see the thin hands of thy mother held up as man sung the low song of the nearly departed, and heard her faint tongue joining in while it could not be witnessed? Let one more at least. I have lived, seen God's hand through a lifetime, and all was the best. Then they sung through their tears in strong triumph, not much, but the rest. And the brothers, the help and the contest, the working whence grew such results as from seething grapes, bundles, the spirit strained true, and the friends of the boyhood, that boyhood of wonder and hope, present promise and wealth of the future beyond the eye's scope, till lo, thou art grown to a monarch. A people is thine, and all gifts which the world offers singly on one head combine. On one head all the beauty and strength, love and rage, like throne that a work in the rock helps its labour and lets it go gold. High ambition and deeds which surpass it, my apologies, fame crowning it, all brought to blaze on the head of one creature, King Soul. And lo, with that leap of my spirit, heart, hand, harp, and voice, each lifting soul's name out of sorrow, each biding rejoice, soul's frame in the light it was made for, as when, dare I say, the Lord's army in rapture of service strains through its array, and upsoareth the Cherubim chariot. Soul! Cried I, and stopped, and waited the thing that should follow. Then Soul, who hung propped by the tent's cross support, in the centre was stuck by his name. Have ye seen when springs arrowy? Bizarre word. Summons goes right to the aim, and some mountain, the last to withstand her, that held he alone, while the vale laughed in freedom and flowers, on a board bust of stone, a year's snow bound about for a breastplate, leaves grasp of the sheet. Fold on fold, all at once it crowds thunderously down to his feet, and there front you, stark, black, but alive yet, your mountain of old with his rents, the successive bequeathing of age untold. Ye charm, get in fighting your battles, each furrow and scar of his head thrust twixt you and the tempest. All hail, there they are. Now again to be softened with verdure. Again hold the nest of the dove, tempt the goat and its young to the green on the crest, for their food in the ardours of summer. One long shudder thrilled all the tent till the very air tingled, and sank, and was stilled at the king's self left standing before me, released and aware. What was gone, what remained, all to travels twixt hope and despair. Death was past, life not come, so he waited a while, his right hand held the brow, helped the eye left too vacant forthwith to remand bizarre, to their place. What new object should enter? 'Twas Saul as before. I looked up and dared gaze at these eyes, nor was hurt any more than by slow palled sunset in autumn. Ye watch for the shore. After their level gauze o'er the ocean, a sun's slow decline over hills, which, resolved in stern silence, o'erlapped the entwine, base with base, to knit strength more intense. So arms folded in arm o'er the chest, whose slow heaving sustained. What spell or what charm? For a while there was trouble within me. What next should I urge to sustain him where song had restored him? Song filled the verge, his cup with the wine of his life, pressing all that it yields of mere fruitage, the strength and the beauty beyond on what fields glean a vintage more potent and perfect to brighten the eye and bring blood to the lip and command them the cup they put by. He seeth, saith, it is good. Still he drinks not. He lets me praise life, gives assistance, yet would die for his own part. Then fences grow rife, which had come long ago on the pastures, when round me the sheep fed in silence above. The one eagle wheeled slow in the sleep, and I lay in the hollow and mused on the world that might lie neath his kin, though I saw but the strip twixt the hill and the sky, and I laughed, since my days are ordained to be passed with my flocks. Let my people at least, with my fancies, the plains and the rocks, dream the life I am never to mix with, and imagine the show of mankind as they live in those fashions I hardly shall know. Schemes of life, its best rules and right uses, the courages that gains, and the produce that makes with men strive for. And now these old trains of virtue though came again, I grew sorer, so once more the strings of my harp made response to my spirit, as thus. One moment. I require some kind of drink. Some kind of drink, not colouring. Ye, my king, I begin. Thou dost well in rejoining mere comforts that spring from the mere mortal life held in common by man and by brute. In our flesh grows the branch of this life. In our soul it bears fruit. Thou hast marked the slow rise of the trees, how its stem tremble first, till it passed the kid's lip, the stag's till it passed the stag's antler, then safely outburst. The fern branches all round, and thou mindest well these two, in turn the brook and bloom, and the palm tree seemed perfect. Yet more was to learn, even the good that comes in with the palm fruit. Our dates shall we slight, when their juice brings the cure for all sorrow. or care for the plight of the palms, self whose slow growth produces them. Not so. Stem and branch shall decay, nor be known to their place, while the palm wine shall stanch. It's a bizarre one. Every wound of man's spirit in winter, I pour thee such wine, leave the flesh to the fate it was fit for. The spirit be thine. By the spirit, when age shall o'ercome thee, thou still shalt enjoy more indeed than at first, when inconscious, the life of a boy, crush that life, and behold its wine running. Each deed thou hast done dies, revives, goes to work in the world, until as the sun looking down on the earth through clouds spoil him, through tempests efface, can find nothing his own deed produced, not must everywhere trace the results of his past summer prime. So each ray of thy will, every flash of thy passion, and powers long over shall thrill. I'm going to take a drink there. Very much using your redemption. Lovely. If you haven't tried Earl Grey, I highly recommend it. I don't know why that went with Eldor. Earl Grey. Lovely tea. A touch of sugar, no milk, and enjoy. Thy whole people, the countless with ardour, till they too give forth a like cheer to their sons, who in turn fill the south and the north with radiance. Thy deed was the germ of. I will pause there temporarily. And many thanks for the follow. The Gamers Inc. I swear people are just coming up with names to trip me up now. It is sincerely appreciated though, thank you very much. Earl Grey is one of the first that was recommended to me outside of hibiscus. Hibiscus I've not had. Earl Grey is fantastic, you should definitely have some. Carus in the past, but the license of age has its limit. Thou dearest at least, as the lion when age dims his eyeball, and thus at her height, so with man, so his power and his beauty for ever taking flight. No. Again a long draw of my soul wine. Looking forth o'er the years, thou hast done now with eyes for the actual. Begin with the seers. Its soul dead. In the depth of the vale, make his tomb bid arise. A grey mountain of marble, heaped four square, till built to the skies. Let it mark where the great first king slumbers. Whose frame would ye know? Up above see the rock's naked face, where the record shall go. In great characters cut by the scribe, Such was Saul. So he did. With the sage direction, the work by the populace chide. For not half, they'll affirm, is compressed there, which felt to amid in the grove with his kind grows the cedar, whereon they shall spend. See, the tablet, 'tis level before them, their praise and record, with the gold and the graver soul story, the statesman's great word, side by side, with the poet's sweet comment. The rivers a wave, with smooth paper reeds, grazing each other when prophet wind blows. So the pen gives unborn generations their due and their part in thy being. Then, first of the mighty, thank God that thou art. Never known Gregory. I've got 160 of them. I'm not afraid to use them. I will go for an advert once we've finished this one. I'm not sure how long this one is, but I shall get myself another drink. Ah, there you go. It's only a page-ish. Oh, don't worry, you're quite alright. How are you doing today? I hope it all went well. I'll actually make myself some more tea when I go. Guess who has a working PC? Wonderful. I was wondering when that was going to happen. How are you doing? Is it one of those jabs where your arm now just feels insanely heavy and you don't want to move it? I'm glad you are well, Hyena. Sod it, I will take the pause there. And I will encourage everyone to take a moment, stretch your legs, and ensure that you are well. No, I'm hard as nails. I'm not saying that you're weak if your arm feels dead after a jab. That should do. Oh, come on. I've just had text about intercourse. Oh, yeah. You know I'm going to allow that, don't worry. I've got no issue with such things. Generally. Though I keep these ones more PG as they go up on YouTube later. Anyway, as I say, everyone, stretch your legs. Make sure your back is not in any pain. Get yourself some tea and we will rejoin shortly. See you soon. And I am terribly glad that you are well, Gregory. And that you are feeling very well and have your computer working, Hyena. That's wonderful. You'll have to tell me what the issue was later. I'm gonna go to sleep. In which case, rest well. And I look forward to catching your next stream. For the moment, though, we've been dead by morning. Don't. I'll run a short advertisement, play a little bit of music, and return. Hello, I return. I'm okay with this music, this is nice. Yeah, I could quite happily listen to that all day. I will give it a thumbs in the up direction. Good one, I'm really interested in the darkness. I forgot to plug into the power of the motherboard. Ooh, that's rough. Is that in terms of the King's Soul that we were reading about a moment ago? And still will be reading about? Deemed hydrate, indeed. Hello, Ricey Pops, how on earth are you? Ah, okay. It seems as though he's an Indian king, though most likely under the rule of the Queen. Though they seem to also be in the desert, but not. It's intriguing. Well, just ended my stream and thought I'd hear some stories. Well, we are very much a good ways through this particular one. And so far, we've had a lyre player. Was it a lyre or it was a harp string? Sorry, yes, a harp player. Play the last tunes that a dying king that isn't actually dead but is, but isn't, would ever hear. I'm getting a very mixed way of how this chap writes. Like, the majority of it seems to be terrific and just enjoyable. And then, like that last one, where it was all in Venice, and it was all names in Italy, and I love it, but I cannot say it. Because I struggle with those words. Anyway, to continue. And behold, while I sang, but O thou who didn't grant me that day, and before it not seldom has granted thy help too easy, carry on and complete an adventure, my shield and my sword, in the act where my soul was thy servant. Thy word was my word, still be with me, who then at the summit of human endeavour, and scaling the highest man's thought could, gazed helpless as ever on the new stretch of heaven above me, till mighty to save, just one lift of thy hand cleared that distance, God's throne from man's grave. Let me tell out my tale to its ending, my voice to my heart, which can scarce dare believe in what marvels last night I took part, as this morning I gather the fragments alone with my sheep, and still fear lest the terrible glory evenish like sheep. For I wake in the grey dewy covert, while Hebron upheaves the dawn, struggling with night on his shoulder, and Kidron retrieves slow the damage of yesterday's sunshine. Like that. Wonderful. I say then my song, while I sang thus, assuring the monarch, and ever more strong, made the proffer of good. To console him, he slowly resumed his old motions and habitudes kingly, the right hand repalmed his black locks to their wonted composure, that's how that's spelled, good to know, adjusted the swaths of his turban, and see the huge sweat that his contents bathes. He wipes off with the robe, and he girds now his loins, as of yore, and feels slow for the armlets of price. With the clasp set before he is sole, ye remember in glory error had bent the broad brow from the daily communion, and still thought much spent. Be the life and bearing that front you the same. God did choose to receive what a man may waste, desecrate, never quite lose. Ow. So sank he by the tent prop till, stayed by the pile of his armour and war cloak and garments, he leaned there a while, and so sat out my singing, one arm round the tent prop to raise his bent head, and the other hung slack, till I touched on the praise I foresaw from all men in all times to the man patient there. And thus ended the harp falling forward. The first I was aware that he sat, as I say, with my head just above his vast knees, which were thrust out each side around me, like oak roots which please to encircle a lamb when it slumbers. I looked up to know if the best I could do had brought solace. He spoke not, but slow lifted up the head, slacked at his side, till he laid it with care, soft and grave, but in mild settled will, on my brow. Through my hair the large fingers were pushed, and he bent back my head with kind power. All my face back intent to pursue it, as men do a flower. Thus held, my word, this is written oddly. Thus held he me there with his great eyes that scrutinized mine, and oh, all my heart, how it loved him. But where was the sign I yearned? Could I help thee, my father, inventing a bliss, I would add to that life of the past both the features and this. I would give thee life altogether, as good ages hence, as this moment had love, but the warrant love's heart to dispense. Then the truth came upon me, no harp more, no song more outbroke. I have gone the whole round of creation. I saw and I spoke. I, work of God's hand, for that purpose, received in my brain, and pronounced on me, on the rest of his handwork. Return him again, his creatures' approval or censure. I spoke as I saw, I repeat, as a man, many of God's work, all's love, yet all's law. Now I lay down the judgeship he lent me, each facility tasked to perceive him has gained an abyss where a dewdrop was asked, have I knowledge? Confounded it strives at wisdom laid bare. Have I forethought? How purblind, how blank to the infinite gaze do I task any facility highest to imagine success. Terribly sorry. I but open my eyes, and perfection no more and no less. In the kind I imagined full fronts me, and God is seen God. In the star, in the stone, in the flesh, in the soul and the clod. And thus, looking within and around me, I ever renew, with that stoop of the soul, which in bending uprises it too. The submission of man's nothing perfect to God's all complete, as by each new obscense in spirit I climb to his feet. Yet with all the abundance, experience, this deity knows, I shall dare to discover some province, some gift of my own. There's a facility pleasant to exercise, hard to hoodwink. I am fain to keep still in abeyance. I laugh as I think, lest listening to calm and parade in it. What ye, I worst, in the giver, in one gift, behold, I could love it, I durst. But I sink the pretension of fearing a man, many o'ertake God's own speed in the one way of love. I abstain for love's sake. What my soul see thus far and no farther, when doors great and small, 99 flow up at our touch. Should the 100th appeal, in the last things have faith, yet distrust. in the greatest of all. Do I find love so full in my nature, God's unlimited gift? The drink sounds very good. Very nice. That I doubt his own love can compete with it. Here the parts shift, here the creatures surpass the Creator. The end, what began, would I fain in the important yearning do all for this man, and dare doubt he alone shall not help him, who yet alone can. Would it ever have entered my mind the bare will, much less power, to bestow on this soul what I sang of, the marvellous dower of the life he was gifted and filled with, to make such a soul, such a body, and then such an earth. For inspiring, not answering. I glanced up and I lost it. Hold on. I hate that. There. Insphering the whole, and doth it not enter my mind, as my warm tears at least, these good things being given, to go on and give one more, the best, aye, to save and redeem and restore him, maintain at the height, this perfection succeed with life's day spring, death's minute of night. Interpose at the difficult minute, snatch soul the mistake, soul the failure, the rain he seems now, and bid him awake from the dream, the prohibition, the prelude, to find himself sat clear and safe in the new light and new life, a new harmony yet, to be run and continued and ended, who knows, or endure. The man thought enough by life's stream of the rest to make sure, by the pain throb triumphantly winning intersfield bliss, and the next world's rewards and repose by struggling in this. Many thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I'll run an ad once I finish this one, and be sure to stretch. I hope you are enjoying it. I believe it. 'Tis thou, God, that givest. 'Tis I who receiveth. In the first is the last. In thy will is my power to believe. All's one gift thou canst grant. Canst grant it moreover, as prompt to my prayer as I breathe out his breath, as I upon these arms to the air. From thy will stream the world's life and nature, thy dread Sabbath I will. The mere atoms despise me. Why am I not loath? To look what To look that even that in the face too. Why why is it I dare think but lightly of such impatiences? What stops my despair? This 'tis not what man does which exalts him, but what man would do. See the king, I would help him, but cannot. The wishes fall through. Could I wrestle to raise him from sorrow, grow poor, to enrich, to fill up his life, starve my own out, I would knowingly which. I know that my service is perfect. Oh, speak through me now. Would I suffer for him that I love? So wouldst thou, so wilt thou, so shall crown thee the topmost, ineffablest, utmost crown, and they love fill infinitude, wholly near leave up nor down, one spot for the creature to stand in. It is by no breath, turn of eye, wave of hand, that salvation joins issue with death. As thy love is discovered, almighty, almighty be proved thy power that excites with and for it of being beloved. He who did most shall bear most. The strongest shall stand the most weak. 'Tis the weakness in strength that I cry for, my flesh that I seek. In the Godhead I seek, and I find it. O soul, it shall be a face like my face that receiveth thee, a man like to me thou shalt love and be loved by forever. A hand like this hand shall throw open the gates of new life to thee. See the see the Christ stand. Dove, 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 dove. Hello, child, how are we? Oh, I'm going to sit high. There was actually that one who was typing while I went to get the laundry. That's very sweet. And I apologize if I didn't notice earlier. I was kind of getting caught up. Oh, I hope you are all very well, and I'm very thankful that you are here. If you are new here, we are reading R.Browning, who seems to have studied in a hold on. I've forgotten the word. Abbey, that's the word. So that does explain all of the gilded paper that is very much Bible paper. And the incessant, unequivocal, just preaching is lovely, to be fair. Anyway, as I said, I will finish this, so I've got one more section to go, then I'll take a short break, stretch, make sure that we're all doing well. I really enjoy this poet. I'm not surprised, he speaks highly of God. I know not too well how I found my way home in the night. There were witnesses, cohorts about me, to left and to right, angels' powers, and unnetted, unseen, the alive, the aware, I repressed. I got through them as hardly as struggling through as a runner beset by the populace, famished by news, life or death. The whole earth was awakened, hell loosed with her crews, and the stars of night beat with emotion and tingled and shot out in fire and strong pain of pent knowledge. But I fainted not, for the hand still impelled me at once, and suppressed all the tumult, and quenched it with quiet and holy behest, till the rapture was shut in itself, and the earth sank to rest. Anon at the dawn all the trouble had withered from the earth. Not so much, but I saw it die out in the day's tender birth. In the gathered into... I am struggling for some reason. I apologize. Do not quench with the quiet, not there. Quiet and holy behost, till the rapture was sunk in itself, and the earth sank to rest. Anon at the dawn all that trouble had withered from earth. Not so much, but I saw it die out in the day's tender birth. In the gathering intensity brought to the grays of the hills, in the shuddering forest's new awe, in the sudden wind thrills, in the startled wild beast that bore off, each with eye sliding still, through abated with wonder and dread, in the birds stiff and chill that rose heavily as I approached them, made stupid with awe, in the serpent that slid away silent, he felt the new law, the same startled in the white humid faces upturned by the flowers, the same worked in the heart of the cedar, and moved the vine bowers, and the little brooks, witnessing, murmured, persisted, and lo, with their obstinate, all but hushed voices, e'en so, it is so. I got lucky with this one, huh? Hello, Queenite. How are you doing? Oh, it was. The poetry is quite nice. I apologize at the abrupt nature of how I read it. No, it's more I am heavily dyslexic, and this was written in 1800s. So there's quite an overlap of I struggle to read. But I thoroughly enjoy it, and this is the kind of thing that will die out if it is not kept alive, and that would be far worse. But as I say, I shall now take that small break, since LFN did redeem an advertisement. Make sure to stretch, get yourself something to drink. We will be back shortly. You thought it is, but I couldn't tell you messed up, which is why I think it's nice. Oh, thank you very much. I'll always try to do my best. As I say that, one moment. Right. Didn't think I was actually going to finish that biscuit in time. What time is it? My, is that the time? I will do one more, because I didn't realise what the time was, and I'd already decided to do it. And then we shall raid somebody. If anyone does have a suggestion, please do let me know. If you wish to keep on with something along these lines, it's going to be much harder to find, though. From what I have seen looking through people on ASMR, no one seems to read other than me. Personally, I don't know about you lot. I can't stand the people that have the microphone here and here and do the whole caressing stuff. I hate that. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to two microphones and just a conversation. That'd be fine. Oh, no, the big brain part of it is I'm teaching myself Latin so I can read more and hopefully understand more. Hereby finding poets that are long past and history that has been rewritten. Reads poetry in ear-shaped microphones. I absolutely would. Knowing my luck, I'd offset it slightly, though. Then again, that would actually make it more realistic as though I was sat next to you. Which I'm fairly sure some people would thoroughly enjoy. I mean, there's stroking microphones, and then there's eating them. Yeah. When I was first called an ASMR streamer, I wasn't doing all of this. I hadn't started any of the poetry readings, I was only doing gaming and that kind of stuff. And I thought, I don't actually know what ASMR streamers do. I searched it up, a woman licked one of the cups, and fight or flight kicked in, and I nearly broke one of my monitors. I was not having a good day. All of a sudden. How long is... Oh, star is only tiny. By fireside, how long is by fireside? We'll do 2 more then. But yes, if anyone has anyone that we wish to raid, don't hesitate to say. My star. All that I know of a certain star is it can throw like the angled spar. Now a dart of red, now a dart of blue, till my friends have said they would fain see too my star that dartles the red and the blue. Then it stops like a bird, like a flower hangs furled. They must solace themselves with the Saturn above it. What matters to me if their star is a world? Mine has opened its soul to me, therefore I love it. And now on to the other one, because as I say, that one was terribly short. By the fireside. How well I know what I mean to do when the long dark autumn evening come, and where my soul is thy pleasant hue, with the music of all thy voices dumb, in life's November too. I shall be found by the fire, suppose, o'er the great wise book as besmeath age, while the shutters flap as the crosswind blows, and I turn the page, not verse now, only prose, till the young ones whisper, finger on lip, there he is at it, deep in creek, now then or never, out we slip, to cut from the hazels by the creek. A many mast for our ship, mainmast, sorry. Okay, look, come on, they're streaming. I do like that one. Shouldn't have glanced over, lost my place. I shall be at it indeed, my friends. Greek puts already on either side such a brand work forth that soon extends to a vista opening far and wide, and I pass out where it ends. The outside frame like your hazel trees, but the inside archways narrow fast, and rarer sort succeed to these, and we slope to Italy, at least, and youth by green degrees. I follow whenever I am led, knowing so well the leader's hand. O woman country wooed not wed, loved all the more by earth's male lands, laid their hearts instead. Look at the chapel again, halfway up in the Alpine gorge. Is there a tower I point you plain, or is it a mill? Or the iron forge breaks solitude in vain? A turn, and we stand in the heart of things. The woods are round us, heaped and dim. From slab to slab, how it slips and springs, the thread of water singing and slim. Through the ravage some torrent brings. Does it feed the little lake below? The speck of white just on its merge. Is Pala see the evening glow? How sharp the silver spearheads charge when Alp meets haven in snow. On our other side is the straight-up rock, and a path is kept twixt the gorge and it, by boulders stone where lichens mock the marks of the moth, and small ferns fit the teeth to the polished black. Oh, the scents of the yellow mountain flowers, and the thorny balls, each 3 in 1, the chestnuts throw on our path in showers, for the drop of the woodland fruits begun, these early November hours, that crimson and creepers flowers across, like a splash of blood, intense, abrupt, o'er a shield, else gold from rim to boss, and lay it for the show on the fairy cupped, elf needled mat of moss. By the rose flesh mushrooms undivulged, last evening May, in today's first dew, yon sudden coral nipple begun, where a freaked, fawn-coloured, flaky crew of toadstools peep indulged. And yonder, at foot of the frontier ridge, that takes the turn to the range beyond, as the chapel recharged by the one arched bridge, where the water is stopped in a stagnant pond, danced over by the midge. I hate midges. The chapel and the bridge are of stone alike, blackish grey, and mostly wet. Cut hemp stalks steep in the narrow dike. See here again how the lichens fret and the roots of ivy strike. Poor little place, where its one priest comes on a festa day, if he comes at all. To the dozen folk from the scattered homes, gathered within the precinct small, by the dozen ways one roams, to drop from the charcoal burns hurts, or climbs from the hemp dressers, low shed, leave the grunge where the woodman stores his nuts, or the wattled cot where the flowers spread their gear on the rock's bare juts. It was some pretension, too, this front with its bit of fresco, half-moon wise, set over the porch, art eerily wont. 'Tis John and desert, I surmise. But, but, has Borne the weather's brunt? Not from the fault of the builder, though, for a penthouse properly projects, where 3 carved beams make a centred show. Deity good thought of the architect. 5, 6, 9, he lets you know. And all day long a bird sings there. Terribly sorry. And a stray sheep drinks at the pond at times. The place is silent and aware. It has had its scenes, its joys and crimes. But that is its own affair. My perfect wife, my Lenore. That is the second time I've ever seen that name. The only other time I've seen that name was with Edgar Allan Poe. Is it just a name that has died out? Also, hello Peachy, how are you? Because I'm narcissist, and because I was just funny anyways. Here, have a clip. I will check that later, because you'll need to whisper that to either myself or one of the moderators, because you can't post clips. I love this text on the screen. I can show you how to do that if you wish. Terribly sorry. My throat's playing up with me again. I lost Lenore. Lenore, okay. Anyway, back to. O heart my own, O eyes mine too, whom else could I dare look backwards for? With whom beside should I dare pursue the path grey heads abhor? For it leads to a crag's sheer edge. With them youth flowers all the way, there stops not they. Age threatens and day contemn. Counterman. That's a weird word. I don't like that one. Till they reach the gulf, wherein youth drops, 1 inch from the life's safe hem. With me, youth led, I will speak now, no longer watch you as you sit, reading by your firelight, that great brow and that spirit's small hand propping it mutely. My heart knows how. When if I think but deep enough, you are wont to answer, prompt us, rhyme, and you to find, without a rebuff, the response your soul seeks many a time, piercing its fine flesh stuff. My own confirm me, if I tread this path back, is it not in pride to think how little I dreamed it led to an age so blast that by its side youth seems to waste instead. My own, see where the years conduct. At first 'twas something our 2 souls should mix as mists do. Each is sucked into each now. On the new stream rolls, whatever rock obstructs. Think when our one soul understands the great word which makes all things new, when earth breaks up and heaven expands. How will the changes strike me and you in the house not made with hands? Oh, I must feel your brain prompt mine, your heart anticipate my heart. You must be just before. In fine, see and make me see, for your part, new depths of the divine. But who could have expected this, when we two drew together first, just for the obvious human bliss, to satisfy life's daily thirst, with the things men seldom miss? Come back with me to the first of all. Let us learn and love it over again. Let us now forget, and now recall, break the rosary in the pearly rain, and gather what we let fall. If free to take the light, my lamps, and go into the tomb, shut the door and sit, seeing thy face on those four sides, of the better that they are so blank, I know. My time was what I wanted to turn o'er, within mine mind each look, get more and more, by heart each word, too much to learn at first, and join thee all the fitter for the pause in nether the low doorways lintel that were cause for lingering through thou couldest, if I darest. And yet thou art the nobler of us two. What dare I dream of that thou canst not do, outstripping my 10 small steps with one stride? I'll say then, here's the trail, and a task is to bear. If easy, I'll not ask, though love fail, I can trust on thy pride. Pride, when those eyes foresell the life behind, the death I have to go through, when I find now what I want, thy help most all of thee. What did I fear? Thy love shall hold me fast, until the little minute's sleep is past, and I wake saved. And yet it will not be. Ooh, one moment. I think I missed a huge amount of this. Wait, no, hang on. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I get you. Hi. Oh, that was kind of sad. Indeed it was, but it was lovely. We could do one more. It's only a short one. We'll save that for the next time. That was a wonderful read, though. I did enjoy that tremendously. And I will do my very best not to read it without you lot. Peachy, I will have to remember to message you about the application I'm using to get the text just there. But for now, I shall send you all off. I've only had one recommendation of who's online at the moment, though, so I shall still have a quick check. Those promises are dangerous. Oh, fundamentally, yes. Yet aren't they still filled with love? And isn't that the safest thing to promise with? so long as that love beeth true. Ah, Quilby streaming, Killer Koala streaming, Blue Chew and Digit. So do we want Art? He seems to be playing Space Hulk, so Ivan is probably awake. All I'm hearing is sweet nothings. You know that I know that, my dear. And sweet nothings is only if they are not backed. If you back it with your actions, it is no longer nothing. And you can never lose that. The actions that you put to your words far outweigh simple words. If you say that you will do naught but love one and true, and you show that, and you make sure that without hesitation you are trusted through and through, naught will worry evermore, for you and your true love shall e'er endure. I will very much point out that I do write poetry in that style because I enjoy it most. I pick it up from this kind of book, because this kind of book goes, oh good lord, that's what Old English is. Modernise it a touch and call that it. Yet not modern to the point of 1900s, because that's too far. In time I shall be publishing a book of poetry. I've been working on it for quite some time, on and off. And that will be one of the first things that I'll have actually seen through to completion. But no, I do speak all of this from the heart. It is all 100% meant and is genuine advice. Don't just say things to say things. If you say something, you mean it. Think about the words, think about the meanings, think of who you are speaking to and how they will interpret it before you speak at all. It is better to sit there and remain dumb than to open your mouth and be proven a fool. Yes, I am also stealing quotes. I am not claiming them as my own. Anyway, we're meant to be raiding. Oh, Kimchi, you're alright, don't worry. I mean, let's put it this way. If I get on with you, you're probably doing something right. Now, that's vanity. Alright, we are set up for a raid. Thank you all for stopping by. I thoroughly enjoyed our readings tonight. And once more, they shall be up on YouTube in a week's time. All of the poetical readings go there. I'm not sure why that stopped going. Oh, it is still going, it just wasn't being seen. Interesting. Anyway, ta-ra, spread nothing but love, and treat others as you wish to be treated, as ever, as in life. Be safe.